Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mom's View. We've got a lot of changes going on. As you guys can see, we have a new set, which I think we're all very excited about, and we're no longer live, so we're shaking things up. And also, if you guys ever want to keep the conversation going, instead of using the hashtag TMV Live, we're going to use the hashtag TMV Talk. So keep those questions coming in, keep the conversation moving and grooving. And my name's Shahrzad. I forgot to introduce everybody. This is Kayli and Angel, and we have a brand new face with us.
Hi, I'm Deanna from You Parent, and we vlog weekly about the hilarity of our 7 kids, so our large family, and 5 of whom are adopted internationally.
Awesome. I'm so excited that you're here. Can't wait to pick your brain.
Excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited too, because last time you were on, I wasn't here. I was in Utah, and I was so sad. So I'm happy.
Yes, welcome. And you look fabulous.
Thank you.
Awesome. Update time. Do you guys want to know what I made for dinner last night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
I don't know.
I'm good. I think I'm 2 weeks ahead of you.
Oh my
Okay, so I'm just getting this now, okay,
It's
because
been
I didn't
the
get the
hardest
joke.
secret I've ever had.
she's
to keep.
great.
I'm just I love your reactions. I wanted to keep it a surprise for this moment, but yeah, I'm so excited. There's a bun in the oven. Yay! And my little baby is due April 20th, and Michael and I are freaking out, excited, and yeah, I stopped puking. I didn't puke today, so
I've been complaining to you about being sick.
and I've been wanting to say so badly, like, me too, me too, 14. Yeah, but it's good. I felt really sick. I feel your pain. I felt super duper sick, like, oh, it feels so good to get it off my chest.
Right.
I
Oh,
tell you guys.
Well, we were talking about you being pregnant earlier. I was getting ready to ask, so when are you on? And then I was like, let me not do it, because I know people who are not ready to have kids, it gets on their nerves when you keep asking them. So I just
Thank you guys. I'm so excited. Yeah, and I just feel like I'm in a good place now because I'm not as sick. And I was, every time you've been talking about being sick, I'm like, girl, I feel your pain. I just barfed this morning.
I've been holding it together good.
I don't know how. I've been wanting to say it so bad.
job.
So, yes. So I am also with child.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and I'm very excited. So that's my update. Yeah.
Wow.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. When's your baby due again?
May 4th.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
We're gonna
yes.
just be
I
growing
know.
together.
We'll be getting
Get ready.
large
Yeah.
and in
Get ready
charge.
for
I
this
know.
area.
It's gonna be like, hi. I feel like I grew a beard. I feel like I've been.
oh, you get ready for that. Get ready for that hair, because it's a coming.
I know the hair on my arms is like 10 feet long. Everything feels weird. And I feel like I was hungover for about 3 months. Like waking up, craving a burrito, wanting to throw up, and wanting to be in my pajamas and watch Lifetime
Yes.
movies all day long. That's pretty much.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so anyway, but today I felt really good and I was so excited to tell
This
you
is
guys.
so exciting. You're a mommy. You are a mommy.
I'm gonna have a baby. So anyway, so we have other updates. How are you feeling?
I'm close to feeling better.
Yes.
I guess it's good to hear that it does go away.
Yeah, today is like the best day I've had so far. It's gone in waves. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so awesome.
I'm so excited.
Baseball.
And Angel, we all heard about your amazing commercial. I am so excited. Angel booked an amazing, huge national Wendy's commercial, and you killed it.
Thank you. I mean, I'm excited about it, but now I don't even care. You have a baby. I'm like, yeah, chicken, pretzel bun, right. Yes. You have a bun. You have a bun. Oh my God.
excited.
But yes, I can't wait for them checks to come in for that Wendy's commercial. So that'll be nice. And then I booked a Walgreens commercial.
Fantastic.
That is awesome.
Yes. So
I'm
yeah.
gonna go home and watch TV, just waiting for your commercial to
Yeah.
come on.
Please, and then tell me what channel you saw it on, what time, so we can make sure they pay for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will.
Yeah, it was really good. I love that last shot at the end where you just bite into
In
it.
yes. Oh, it was great because it was my first national commercial. It was so fun. And so I'm just glad I finally got the chance to do it because I was like, I really want a commercial. So it was one of the things I wrote down on my prayer list. And
You deserve
Awesome.
it. You
Thank
are so
you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you.
Thank you so much.
And I am just so thrilled to hear your story. Can you tell us more about you and just your life and your adoption, and give us the stats? How many babies, which ones are adopted, where are they from?
Okay, I have 7 children.
Okay.
2 are by birth, so I can totally relate to what you're talking about, with morning sickness and all of that. And then I have 5 that are adopted. And by the way, when you adopt, you actually have similar pregnancy symptoms. Not the
pregnancy
same
symptoms.
exactly, but you have the weight gain, you have just this anticipation, and you nest. I mean, there's a lot of similarities. So I have 5 that are adopted. I have 3 from Ethiopia, 1 from Guatemala, and 1 from Ukraine. And so it's a busy household. Our youngest is 7, and our oldest is 22.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's a very interesting dynamic when you watch our vlogs, where it's just like this craziness because of all the different ages and just the energy, but we love it.
We have a clip from one of your vlogs that we're going to show.
Oh, here's a little story of a mom and dad.
She's no Angelina.
Yeah, and he's not Brad. Raising lots of kids from all over the world. 3 bad boys. That's Shanice, girl.
So that brings us to our topic of the day, which is adoption. What inspired you to first adopt?
Well, first off, we never had that conversation about how many kids we're going to have. So it was just the realization of how many kids there are globally without parents. And now the number is about 163 million. Some are double orphans and some have just lost one parent. But so hearing that, and that just inspired us. So the first child we adopted was in Guatemala in 2005. And then we were just taken by Africa. And so it was just this desire to, I guess, grow our family in a different way. And also just a passion. We did end up just having this passion for really going to these children that did not have families. And we adopted an infant with our youngest, Matea, and then we adopted 3 older ones that were 5, 6, and 9.
Okay. A sibling trio.
Yeah, sibling group.
That's so great, so they can stick together.
Yes.
How do you find the countries that you want to adopt from?
Well, international adoption is really tricky because
Yeah.
they always change. Like right now, Russia closed, the Congo closed, so it can be kind of scary. You have to sort of push through things. But at the time, Guatemala was open. Now that's not open for adoption anymore. So at the time, we just did some research and decided what worked best for our lifestyle. And at the time, I couldn't travel for weeks on end, so we chose Guatemala. And so you just sort of evaluate your own family dynamic and situation, and then look at the countries that are open. And you may have an adoption consultant or an agency that can help you to sort of navigate that.
Since we're on international adoptions, I've always wondered why people choose to adopt internationally over domestically, being that we have so many.
Yeah,
orphans
that people come up with that question a lot, and actually it's not as easy to adopt in the States as you would imagine. I mean, we do have a lot of kids in the foster care system that need homes, and people should, follow their heart, like where they want to go. But there's a lot of restrictions for foster care. Like I couldn't adopt in North Carolina now because I have too large of a family. So what I like to say to people is that there's so many children that need to be adopted, yes, in the United States and globally, and I don't believe that God puts borders on that need. So I just believe that each family has to pray about it and really think about it and then go where they're called. And so, but I do want to encourage as many people as possible to to look into the foster care system. Maybe their state is different. Maybe the requirements would really work for their family, because it's a huge need. There is a huge need there.
Because I don't know, does anybody come over here to adopt our kids? That's the one thing that I wonder.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think
what.
so. I've never heard that before. That's a
Right.
good question, though. Yeah. What
Not
are
that I
some
know
of the
of.
challenges from adopting kids that are a little bit older? Because they
Well,
obviously
the first thing
remember
is the
more.
language issue.
Right,
And-
yeah.
which is kind of fun too, but it's, you're pantomiming, you think that you're communicating something that they understand and they get, but oftentimes you could interpret disobedience in the wrong way when it's not disobedience, it's a lack of understanding. So you really have to be careful. Like my children from Africa in the beginning, it was infuriating to me at first because I would talk to them, I tried to really, and then they wouldn't look at me. They'd be like, and because of our American standards and backgrounds, we think of that as a sign of disrespect.
Right.
And then I have a friend from Ethiopia, a friend from Uganda that were with me at the time when I was talking to one of my kids, and they said, Deanna, in our countries, actually, that's a sign of respect. They don't look at the adult in the eye. That's disrespectful. So there's language issues and cultural issues that you have to educate yourself on. And we were pretty educated, but there's no way to be fully educated. And then there's the dynamic between your pre-existing kids.
Right.
And then no matter how great the change is for them to be in a family, there is a sense of loss that's compounded more than what they've already experienced because they miss their country. The smells, the food, there's even in the poverty in some places there are these assets that we don't have here. Just this massive sense of community, people coming, like especially in Africa, people coming in to really care for the kids, and just this large extended family. Sometimes kids are adopted here and don't see that. So you have to acknowledge the loss that existed and the tragedies of them being orphaned, plus the loss of this country. So there's an excitement. In them coming, but there's this excitement in coming, but there's also a sense of grief that you're constantly working on and trying to communicate, even though they can't understand you all the time. So, but we just try to have a great attitude, and you'll see in our vlogs that we just, are sort of lighthearted about things, and, just we want to show people sort of that this can work, and that there's a dynamic, and you don't have to be perfect in order to parent these children from hard places, that you can find your way. Yeah.
You think you're gonna adopt any more?
We have no plans, but I've learned through the years really that, God can change things. I really don't think we are, but I didn't think we were adopting our last child, Alec, either. So I try to plan and strategize my life, but be flexible and understand that things can take a left turn anytime. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how you are able to stop, because I've watched like little documentaries or been up way too early, and they'll show something about a country where the children need help. And I'm like, oh, don't take me over there, because I'm going to try to come back with all the kids.
Yes.
And then we're going to be broke over here. So it's
and that's very true, because there's something about encountering the orphan
I can only imagine.
that changes you for life. Because when we went to adopt Alec, there were a couple of kids that literally would come to us and say, please find me a family. So your life is altered, and you develop this sense of passion and just determination to make sure that they find a family. And one of the boys in Alec's orphanage found a family. The other one ended up passing away.
Oh my God.
Which is devastating, because he needed extra health care. He didn't get it, and he died.
You guys are really the real life Brad and Angie. I'm sure you hear that a lot.
Well, that's what we say in our, in our theme song.
Yeah.
She's no Angelina and he's not Brad, and we're really not. But yes, we have like that blended family, and I think that's what's interesting for a lot of people. Wouldn't many people like to sort of have a little vlogging camera inside of Brad and Angelina's home?
Yes.
For many reasons.
Yes.
Yeah. Kayli, would you ever adopt?
I absolutely would. I would
Yeah.
love to. Actually, Casey really would want to, more than me probably. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I would be up for it.
What about you, Angel?
Me and my husband have talked about it, because I would love to have a little girl, but I'm going to be 100% honest, and it might sound horrible. I don't know. I'm afraid that I won't love that child as much as I love my biological child, and I would never want to put a child in that situation that's already lost a parent, and then you come into a household where you can, even if it's the slightest difference, where you can feel like you can tell that there's another. Of course, that you have different connections with your children, the ones that you've birthed and the ones you've adopted, but I would just have such a horrible conscience if I was not able to show that child the same love or make them feel as if they are loved as much as my son Marcus. And so that alone scares me from adopting. But there are times where I'm like, I should just adopt a little girl since I don't want to be pregnant again.
Right.
I should just adopt one, but I'm afraid of that.
I felt that same way about having another child biologically too, because I was like, I cannot imagine loving my daughter Samantha more than anything, my oldest. And then it's just, your love just grow. That's what is amazing about this, is sort of facing like your fears and stuff. And the adoption thing's very interesting. It may not be always that instantaneous thing that you have with because you do have a biological connection. But what's cool about it is that love And sometimes, by the way, it is instantaneous for many people. But that love is really awesome because it sort of grows as you start to learn more about the child. But there are disadvantages because you don't know like little signals that when you have a child at birth, you know like every little nuance of their cries and stuff. But I'm telling you, I don't know.
I'm just
You would be
afraid.
surprised,
I'm
girl.
just like,
I think your heart is so big that it would you'd be surprised. I can see you with a little girl and just, I mean,
she's like,
I don't think it's a problem.
it does, but that does worry me because I have a lot of friends who've adopted kids, but they don't have. You're probably one of the first people I know that have adopted children that have biological children. Most of the friends that I have that have adopted kids, that was their only way to be able to make their own family because they weren't able to give birth on their own. So, of course, I cannot see them any differently than the way I see myself with my son. Like, that is their child. The only thing they didn't carry them in their womb. But I'm like, because I've had this experience, I am so scared. I'm just afraid, and I don't want to be that person. I would feel horrible about myself. Like, there's no way.
Just knowing you would just love that little baby so much.
I mean,
though.
I would love the
You
baby.
do have a huge
I would
heart.
love
Yeah.
the baby. I would love the baby. I just
Yes,
don't want to
you
create
would.
a difference. But I would. Oh yes.
And your
yes.
son
A little girl, yeah.
Oh, he keeps asking me to put a baby in my belly, and I'm like, boy, you better go on somewhere. He told his dad. He said, Dad, I gotta tell you something. He's only 4, and he was like, what? He said, I want mommy to put a baby in her belly.
So cute.
He's the cutest.
I need you to learn your letters. Is what I'm like. You get out of my belly. And what's going on? You learn your letters. Yeah. So.
What about you? Would you?
I would. I've thought about this a lot. I would adopt a little girl from Afghanistan. I just feel like women in Afghanistan have pretty terrible lives, and if I could change the life of one little girl, then I would love to. And the reason I choose Afghanistan is because it's kind of a similar culture and language to being Persian. I grew up Persian, and they speak Farsi, and people from Afghanistan also speak a similar dialect to Farsi. So that way I could still incorporate the little angel faces culture and heritage, and it wouldn't be as much of a disconnect, you know?
So would you adopt a child at any age?
I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah, that is-
because I just feel like that would be really hard, especially if they're over 10.
Right.
You know?
You end up getting bolder each time. Like the first time I wasn't going to either. I mean, I wanted an infant girl.
Right.
And that's what we adopted. So, I mean, and then the next time we got really bold with 3 older kids. So it's just, I totally can relate.
I mean, of course, the older kids need parents too, you
Right.
know?
They
So
are, yes,
it's like,
and
if
they're
you're gonna-
overlooked.
Yeah, I know,
more,
and that's
yeah.
sad. And
Yeah.
anyway, so what advice do you have to somebody that wants to adopt?
You know, I think one thing that I found that was so crucial is connecting to a community of people, whether it's online or in a group or whatever, that are also adopting, and do your research. So connecting with other moms that are adopting is so huge because it helps you to really get through the process and feel supported, because it's intense. I mean, with birth, you know, after 9 months, this is going to happen. Your adoptions could become longer. There could be obstacles. Oftentimes there are obstacles. You deal with internal stuff like, am I supposed to be doing this? I mean, it can be intense. So having a support group and not isolating yourself in that, and being as informed as possible is, really my best advice.
Now I really want to adopt.
I know. Yeah. You're a good
ready.
spokesperson. Yeah, you're a great spokesperson for adoption. Awesome. Well, now it is our time to chat with the viewers. So I have some tweets. This one is from Pags. She says, if you adopt a child, would you explain that child's origin to them? And how old would they be when you did? Love you.
Oh, it's
I think that's such a good question. I was actually getting asked that earlier. Yeah.
We have open communication about this from, obviously age appropriate from day one.
Okay.
We talk about it, and it's an ongoing conversation. In fact, sometimes our kids get confused. Like my Guatemalan child, at one point, I said, honey, you weren't the one from Ethiopia. Because they can get, but it's important to stress their culture and how awesome it is, and the background. But then also, also let them know that they're also, American, but that their roots are really important, and teach them a little bit about it, and let them embrace it, and go to cultural events if you can. We go to Ethiopian restaurants, but ironically, my Guatemalan daughter loves Ethiopian food better than one of my Ethiopian children who likes Mexican food better. I mean, it's just like this whole interesting dynamic. Yeah. But that's a great question, and I think it should be ongoing. I ran into somebody on on the airplane. He was 45 years old, and he said he just found out that he was adopted, and he had so much resentment, like he didn't know his entire life.
Yeah.
One of our
Yeah.
moms just had that
Jamie.
experience. Yeah. Where she just found out she was
Yeah.
adopted.
This year, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So I think it's important because, I mean, it's great when you have other children too because there's no stigma. It's just natural to them.
Yeah. Do like any of your kids ever ask to go back to their
Oh, yeah.
homeland, or would you
Yeah,
guys ever consider
sure.
taking them to visit
Oh,
where
yes.
they came from?
Absolutely. We talk about it. It's a matter of finding the right time, though,
Right.
because there's a lot of scars and that
Trips
type of thing.
expensive,
Yeah,
too.
and they have to. Yeah, absolutely, and they have to adjust. But I anticipate that we will
Yeah.
be going to each one of those places. So,
That's wonderful.
I think that's really
wonderful.
great.
Yeah.
I have another tweet. This one is from, oh hey, it's Haley. That's kind of like, hey Kayli. Would you consider adopting an older child if you already had biological children at home? We kind of talked about that.
For me, I think it would depend on the gender. Since I have a little boy, I could see adopting an older little boy. I think if I had a little girl biologically, I think I would be a little more hesitant. I don't know why that is, but in me, I'd be a little more hesitant of the age range that I would adopt if the child already in the home were a girl. And
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Just, I guess because in my family, we've dealt so much with like, you know, molestation and things of that nature, and we're a family full of girls, I would be very hesitant of what I brought into my house if there was a little girl in my house. So, and being that they wouldn't be biological siblings and just dealing with puberty and all that, those things, I wouldn't want to put my daughter in a situation where something like that could possibly happen. Not to say that any child would do that, but I just would be a little wary of it. But being that I have a little boy, and not to say that this does not happen to little boys, it's just in my family, we're a family full of women, full of women. So I'm a little more like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
it would probably be somebody near his age. So if he was 5, I would be like, okay, let's look at 5 to 7-year-old little boy instead of, you know, or 5 to 7-year-old little girl.
And you have to take into consideration your pre-existing family. Like,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily always like, would you adopt an older child or young? It's a matter of like, well, what about, you know, Andrew? Would he be able to deal with a child older, a boy older than him?
Right.
And we had that exact scenario, and I remember thinking, you know, where we were placing, especially the 3 that I called triplets, even though they weren't the same age. They were older, but the oldest one of the 3 was 9, almost the same exact age as Andrew at the time. And I knew that an older girl was fine around his age, but I didn't want to bump him off of being the oldest boy either. I just knew that intuitively as a mother.
Right.
So you can adopt out of birth order, that's what they call it, but you have to be careful. Some agencies will say absolutely not, but if you know your family and know your dynamic, but you have to take all of this into consideration when you're adopting.
Right.
Totally.
I think I would. I mean, I would definitely take into consideration what you said, but I think I would.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody needs love.
Oh, I just want to adopt so bad.
And at a community center that I used to work at, this woman, I think she might have had 1 biological child, but she had tons of adopted children.
Wow.
And most of them, she fostered a lot of them when they were younger, and she took on 1 entire family. So it was several siblings.
Yeah.
So a lot of them were older when she got them, but for her, it was just like she wanted kids and she knew she could take care of them. So it worked for her. I'm trying to think of, I think the youngest ones were close to babies, like maybe 1 or 2 when she got them, but the other ones were like 10 and 12. So for her, it worked. And knowing that, yes, they want someone to call them their child at some point in time. So if I didn't have any kids at all, I would definitely adopt like a teenager. I surely would, just so they could, even if they're only with me for 5 years before they're an adult, so they could say, I had a parent.
Right.
Yeah.
The teens really are, long for a family.
Yeah.
And like you said, right before they age out, especially in the foster care system, some of them, all they want before they turn 17, 18 is to be able to have a family that actually will parent them, into then adulthood.
Yeah.
Right, because you want
They
your kids
just
to have a
feel like they want
grandparent.
that, they want that reconciliation of having the family that's committing to them with a full adoption. Not, foster care is great, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes me think of The Blind Side. I
Yes,
just saw that the other
so
day.
good.
And that worked out great.
Really did.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh,
it's
my
such a good
goodness.
movie.
It's
You
so
should
awesome.
see it. Yeah.
Okay. The Mom's View actually is adopting. I'm surprising you guys with something. Okay, first, I feel like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, you know. Here's. Okay, first, this is for the two of you.
Oh.
For Shahrzad, because I have something else. Okay, I want you to see this. This is a little boy from Guatemala who we are sponsoring in the name of the Mom's View. His name is Andres, and he's from this orphanage called Village of Hope, and so we are supporting him and sponsoring him, but in the name of all of the moms.
Thank you.
So that's your refrigerator magnet. I have two, one for Katilette too, but Kayli. Okay, this is your bag. The bag has some great nutritional supplements that I use to lose, my 40 pounds. But this is Benji from China. I know you always think of little girls from China, but anyhow, he is 6 months old. He had a tumor on his liver and was really, really sick. And he's in an orphanage called Shanghai Healing Homes. And my family is sponsoring him. But we are donating in honor of the Mom's View. So for the Butler family, Benji is yours. And it's on the refrigerator because I had my son on the refrigerator for a long time and we ended up adopting him. But anyhow. These are our virtual, we were sort of adopting with the Mom's View. Andres from Guatemala. And next time I come on, I'll bring girls. Okay? But now it's all boys. Benji from Shanghai Healing Homes and Andres from Village of Hope.
Wait till I tell my husband
to show
we're
my
having
kids.
another baby. We're having a baby.
Aren't they cute?
He's adorable. I'd
Yes.
eat him up.
And we believe that they're both going to just thrive and do great. And Benji, in spite of his bad start, health-wise, he's going to thrive and he's going to live to be a very strong man. So.
Oh, thank you.
So sweet. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for these gifts.
You're welcome.
I'm really liking this trend that the guests are bringing gifts now. Let's keep that up.
Let's keep that up, people.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you
the holiday
so much.
season. Yeah,
This is a
awesome.
wonderful gift.
Well, I
good.
figured you guys probably get
I
all
have
kinds of
I
things,
have
but
a
I figured
photo
this would be
too.
Yes,
unique.
this is
Yeah,
great.
we got Benji. We got twins. we
No,
didn't
yours
get
is
Benji. That's
Andres.
not Andres.
Benji, this is for Colette.
Oh, what a little cutie. Hi, little crumpet.
Send this baby to my house.
Yes,
Right.
So cute. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank
Really appreciate that. You have a huge heart.
You do.
It's just, it's what God has called us to do, so that's what we're doing. And we'd like more and more families to come forward, but also to pray for these children is a big thing, major thing. So that's what we're doing.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for everything. You guys are all wonderful. I loved hearing everything about you.
Yeah.
And your
Always
life.
great to be here. I love you guys.
Baby.
I got knocked
Happiness.
up. We will be back next Thursday at 2. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.